Select all of the following graphs, which represent y as a function of x, and is one-to-one. So to test this, we have to see which of these graphs pass a horizontal and vertical line test. So the vertical line test tells us if the graph is a function or not. So let's check to see if any of these pass a vertical line test. So the vertical line test says that if there is any vertical line that you could draw that would touch the graph at more than one point, then it's not a function. For this first, this is a function because no matter where I put my vertical line, I would only touch the graph at a single point. The same is true of this next graph. No matter where I put the vertical line here, I'd only touch the graph at a single point. So this is also a function. The next is as well. No matter where I put a vertical line, I would only be touching the graph at a single point. And it looks a little bit strange here for this one, but this is true as well. It's just the graph is kind of flattened out right around here, but it's not entirely flat, so it is in fact a function. This particular graph is our first one that fails the vertical line test, because here's a single vertical line that touches more than one point on the graph. So this is not a function. There's no reason for us to test if it's one-to-one. So we will exclude this from our answers. Now the next set. Here we have a vertical line, and it just takes one. We have one vertical line that touches the graph at multiple points. In fact, this time I have three, so this is not a function. And since this is not a function as well, then, because it fails that vertical line test, we don't need to test to see if this graph is one-to-one. If it's not a function, we throw it out. So that leaves us with determining which of these are one-to-one. So to determine if it's one-to-one, it needs to pass also a horizontal line test, which means I would be able to draw a horizontal line and it would only touch the graph at a single point. Unfortunately, this first one crosses at quite a few points, so this fails the horizontal line test. So it is a function, but it's not one-to-one. Next, we have a graph where, again, if I draw a horizontal line here, for instance, I'm touching the graph at multiple points. So this also is a function. We decided that already, but it's not one-to-one. So in terms of our answers, we actually should say, all right, we're throwing these out because they're not one-to-one functions. Okay, that brings us down to these last two. So this one, it turns out that no matter where I draw a horizontal line, it's only going to touch the graph at a single point. So this is our first one that is a one-to-one function. So we would certainly want to select that one in our answer. And this next one, this cube root graph. If I draw a horizontal line anywhere on this graph, it's only going to touch the graph at a single point. So not only does it pass the vertical line test, it also passes a horizontal line test. So this is in fact a one-to-one function.